Hey y'all, welcome back to the 5 Minutes or So Daily Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Smith, digital marketer. Today, I'm joined by Cody C. Cody's a writer, a minimalist, and an INTJ with 5+ years of digital advertising experience, and his website is codyc.com. How's it going, Cody?
Hey, Jacob. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's move on to the last part of our discussion, which this one's a little bit different. One of the things our agency team likes to do is test out different marketing experiments, and learning different techniques for promoting your business. When we talked before, you mentioned that for one of your clients, you were able to use Reddit ads to increase traffic and ultimately get sales. So I was hoping you could talk a little bit about this experiment, how you chose Reddit, what you did, and what happened.
Yeah. And I will say, even before I get into this Reddit would be a better match for your target demographic than mine with local lead gen, because their location targeting isn't great. They can run national campaigns or just larger geo-targeting much better. So it would fit like the food industry much better than local lead gen did. The experiment that we ran, I should ask him for permission before I go in too far into this. So I'll just, I won't say his niche, but his name's John. And we agreed that we would take $500 and split it $100 each into different tactics. We did paid search on Google, Gmail on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and then Reddit. And Reddit was the only one that he wasn't familiar with, which doesn't surprise me. It's a huge website. It's like in the top 100 in the world, but there's a stigma still attached to it of guys in their parents' basement eating Cheetos, drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that like internet nerd stigma still.
Yeah. But it's not anymore, right? I mean, it's huge, and a lot of people, mainstream people, are there, and that's where they get their news before the news gets the news. So anyway, we ran the ad there and compared performance against the other platforms too. And I could go on about how to write an ad on Reddit, because there's not really good information out there, but it's just being honest and straightforward because Reddit hates advertisers. So we were just very honest and said, hey, we're testing out Reddit ads. We have this event coming up. If you guys are interested in that, cool. And we can
just really, really informal, and being completely transparent, because the more you look like an ad, the worse things.
Yeah, no, 100%. Don't come on too strongly, because the thing is too, it's not like Facebook. These people are smart. They'll destroy you. They'll rip you apart. You'll go to sleep crying at night because they're just brutal. But the funny thing is, I sent John a screenshot of the top comment because it said, is this an ad that I don't hate? Which was the most upvoted thing there. So, we kind of figured out a way to make it work. And when we did compare performance, it crushed Instagram. It did better than Facebook. And it got really good engagement. It's a little different because social performs differently, right? It's not like search in that you click through, they convert then and there, and you have a very simple attribution model. Social, you're going to get people to talk about it. They might bring it up to their friends, things like that. So they might not click on your ad, but they might visit your website later. So you kind of have to measure your success differently.
Yeah, and I mean, there's different attribution models through Google Analytics, but things are still going to fall through the cracks.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. There's a hack that we've kind of figured out, and this is a little bit heavy, probably compared to what your listeners are used to, but you can create an audience in Google Analytics based off of Reddit traffic, right? So it's people who have visited your website through Reddit, and then you create a brand campaign for people searching for your brand in Google Ads and add that audience. You can either target or add it as an observation, and that way you can tell people who visited your website through Reddit and then search for your brand in Google.
Yeah, that's kind of brilliant, actually. Yeah, that's something I wouldn't have thought of. But yeah, just figuring out where your traffic's coming from and trying new tactics like Reddit and other social media platforms seems to have a lot of value, especially if you're not one of those big guys who can just outspend everyone.
Definitely. Reddit's cheap. That's something that people don't, I don't know if realize is the word. It's going to be Amazon in 10 years. And it's kind of where Amazon is right now because people are still getting on the train. And I feel like Reddit is this sleeper that people haven't figured out and they aren't willing to, especially the big brands that have legal issues. They're concerned about PR because it'll be a nightmare. But if you're a smaller guy and you come in there and you're just like, hey, it's just me. I just work for this company. You know, like we're like 5 guys or something like that. They're going to be much nicer to you than if you're coming in like, yeah, we're Walmart and buy our stuff. It's not going to work.
I'm actually interested. So you said it was cheap. Can you kind of give a comparison how cheap? Because I just want to understand, like, let's say cost per 1,000 views. How cheap is it usually?
Yeah. And it's been a while since I've been in there because I think you can do CPC bidding now too. At the time, I've run a few tests. First time I did it, you couldn't even pay per click. You were paying per impression. And when I did that, which was a while longer ago, a few years now, we were paying like 7 cents a click. Which is cheap, ultimately, but effectively 7 cents per click. I think, if I remember right, it was about 20 cents per click when we ran that test and compared performance, which is still, if you're comparing that to Google, it's going to be quite a bit cheaper. Again, you do have to factor in the kind of clicks that you're getting because those are going to be clicks on the ad, which might be the expanded ad. So they're still on Reddit. They're not clicking through all the way to the website, which is what you would get on Google most likely. But still, you just run 2 tests against each other, see which one is more cost effective. And you might find out that Reddit is your thing and spend money there.
Sweet. Well, yeah, thanks for diving in and sharing a little bit about your experiment with us. And I mean, I'm interested now. That's something that we're going to try, and hopefully our listeners can take advantage of it too.
Yeah, hope so.
Do you have any last minute plugs? We know your website, codyc.com, has articles and other stuff, but if there's anything specific you think we could find value with?
No, not really. I mean, visit my personal website if you want to read what I write. I'm more of a writer, so that's how I prefer to communicate. Like I said, I'm a recluse. So just check that out if you want.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Cody. I really like talking with you and nerding out about ads with you.
Cool. Thanks, Jacob.
All right, that's a wrap, everyone. Thanks so much for sticking with us and tuning in. Real quick, if you like today's episode, we'd love it if you sub to the podcast wherever you're listening to it and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's the way to help this show grow. To get in touch with us and find more content and all the podcast episodes, you can visit our website, which is linked in the show notes. Have a great day, everyone. As always, good luck and good marketing.